بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. We were discussing yesterday, we started the Seerah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and we were discussing the environment and how the world was in the time of the Messenger, peace be upon him. As we probably recall, discussed how two superpowers at the time, Persian Empire and the Roman Empire, Byzantine Empire, and how corruption had spread into the world, so much so that Maulana Aakil mentioned that had any of the prophets of the religions came, he would never have recognized those religions because so many pagan rituals and so many other things had come in to these religions. And all the religions were not the pristine and pure religions that the Anbiya had brought. Arabia, which was known to become the birthplace of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it also had its challenges. Not that Arabia was without any challenge. In terms of religion, as we mentioned yesterday, they were involved in idol worshiping. One of their ancestors, Amr ibn Luhay, he says that initially the people were worshiping, were on the Deen Hanif, the Deen of Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam, which meant that they were not worshiping idols, etc. I think Amr ibn Luhay went in one of his journeys, he was one of their leaders, and he saw people worshiping idols. So subhanAllah, that's also a point for us to remember. Now sometimes we see people doing things, and it captures us, it captivates us, it looks all sweet and nice. And they say, oh, we want to do that too. That doesn't mean it's correct. Because people are doing things doesn't mean everything is correct. That's a very important point to remember. Because especially this day and age, we get caught up a lot. And we see someone doing something that seems good. Then we go, and then we get ourselves in trouble. So Umar ibn Luhay, he saw the people worshipping idols, and he said, you know what, this seems nice. So he took the idols back, he purchased some idols, and he took it back to Makkah, and he started telling the people he's the leader. The leader is respected and honored, so they started worshiping idols. There's also mentioned that there are certain idols that Allah mentions in the Quran. وَلَا يَغُوثَ وَيَعُوقَ وَنَسْرًا. Right? وقالوا لا تذرن آلهتكم ولا تذرن ودا ولا سواعا. So Wad, Suwa, Yahud, Nasra. These were idols that actually the people of Nuh alayhi salatu wasalam used to worship. The people of Nuh alayhi salatu wasalam used to worship. And Shaitan came in the dream of this Umar ibn Luhay and showed him the place where these idols were buried. And he went and he dug them up and he brought them. And the people then started worshiping them as well. So that's why we had Manat, Hubla, all of these different idols on the different places. On Safa, Marwa had idols. In Medina, there was also idols. Taif had an idol. So everywhere you had these big idols, and then you had these what you would call idols that were smaller idols that people would keep in their homes, etc. Now he comes. So now this is Medina. This is Makkah, and this is how so as I said, the worship had also taken the four in Makkah al-Mukarram. Along with that, they also had their challenges in terms of their um, the social welfare of the people, and then the ignorance that prevailed, sorry, within Makkah al-Mukarramah in terms of the different caste systems, etc. Yes, slaves didn't have no rights. Women generally had no rights. But that's not to say all, because it depends on which class or which family you are from. Unfortunately, that happens too often. Now, people of a lower class, then they tend to um, seem to be more stricter or more harsher among their people. So, whereas there are some individuals, certain of the clans, they really kept their women in as prisoners, basically, or they had no real rule over their life. But then there were others of the upper class where a woman had a say. For example, Khadija radiallahu anha, her husband passed away, they left behind a large sum of money, and she was a business lady. We also find the wife of Abu Sufyan in the, and she seemed to have some type of rule because Abu Sufyan seemed to be a little, when you read the Seerah, Abu Sufyan said, listen to her, right? And there were other women who were prominent individuals. So it's not that all women are like that. However, a large percentage of the society had no respect at all for ladies, had no respect at all for them. And so much so they went to the point that, as the Quran mentions, they would bury their little girls alive. Bury their little girls alive. And then inshallah we'll come to that, the Taraweeh, the 14 Jews and other places. And Allah paints the whole picture that when they would be greeted with the glad tidings of a daughter, how their faces will change and how they will become angry. And they will try to suppress that because Allah didn't want to find out. And then they went as far as killing their own daughters and burying them alive. So there were issues. The Arabs, they had issues. But along with that, there were certain outstanding qualities that they had. And also, what was good for them was their geographical location. Unfortunately, book is not coming up. So I can't. So if I say something wrong, please forgive me. The location of Medina, Makkah, Saudi Arabia, what we call Saudi Arabia presently, that location is such that scholars and people of geography who have studied the world, etc., they say that's actually a very central location. That's a total central location, right? So on one side is we have the human space, the other side is that same space, the central location. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was born at this central location, so that everyone from all over the world can benefit from him. And perhaps the more correct reason for why Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was sent to the Arabs is the dua of Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam that we read in the first day next Taraweeh. ربنا وضعت فيهم رسولا منهم يتلو عليهم آياتك ويعلمهم الكتاب والحكمة ويزكيهم. This was the dua. So Ibrahim alayhi salam had made dua that, oh Allah, send amongst these people a messenger who will teach them, who will bring them the book, who will teach them wisdom, etc., etc., etc. And Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam himself will later say that I am the answer to the dua of my father Ibrahim and my father Ibrahim. So this dua was answered. This dua, Ibrahim alayhi salam, was answered, and Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was sent, was born in that which is now the blessed land of Makkah. As I mentioned, there are certain qualities that these people had outstanding. We'll just look at them and we'll wrap up tonight. What were some of these qualities? One was the Arabs were very, very fond of they were very proud of their family lineage. It says that they would memorize their family lineage, and it's not only family lineage. Their memories were so sharp that they would know the lineage of their camels. That this camel belongs to that one, that one, and that one, and that one. Right? They took pride in these things. MashaAllah, they had very sharp memories. Now, when inshallah we look at Rasulullah probably tomorrow, so his lineage, as he says in one narration, that no one in the lineage of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was born out of wedlock. Every child, every person was born Maulana straight up to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, that link. All of them were born through marriage. Then the Arabs, they were known for their heroism. They were known for their bravery, and they were never overawed by any situation. We find an incident that happened later during the Shara radiallahu anhu, the Sahabi. He went to one of the leaders of the time, I can't remember which one. He went to meet him. So of course these people, they would bow down in front of their leaders. And no one would dare ever go and sit next to the leader. But when the Shaba, he walked in, and he went and he sat right next to him. And everyone, it was a big hue and cry, and they pulled him down. And then he came back, but I thought you guys were better than this. I thought you guys had to understand it. And then, he showed that, this is not how it started to that. But it showed that was the spirit of the Arabs. We were never overawed by anything. We were never overawed by anything. And they were ready to lay down their life for whatever they believed in. So what was happening was Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because this message of Islam was going to come. And these people would have to support Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, accept the message, and then would have to propagate. So you can't find someone like me who's a little weak and weak person to go, right? You gotta get someone who's strong, who's ready to face the criticism, and really ready to face the onslaught. So hence Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose these people because they had these great qualities. Another one of the qualities is generosity. The Arabs were such that if anyone would come to their home and they had nothing but say that their camel, which they would use to ride upon or use to do their jobs, they would go and slaughter that camel, but they would not let the man and the guests go home. Generosity of the highest standard. We find the correlation to Rasulullah family as well. Then, how anyone would come to Makkah, they would go, they would serve them, they would look after them, etc. They were also, as we said, their memory was phenomenal. That's why many individuals may have issues of the credibility of Ali, etc. He said, just look at the Arabs and those first recipients of the Wahi and the way their memory was. They have phenomenal memory. As I said, again, memorizing your own lineage, they memorizing you the animals, fathers and forefathers, etc., etc. And they knew poetry. They would memorize poetry. Poetry was one of their forms of amusement and pleasure. There were many of them were poets, and they would memorize poetry. So they would just merely hear something, and that's it. They would memorize it. And then personal honor, and their independence. Think about it. Makkah, as I said, is in the center, right? Is in the center, and you have the Byzantine Empire, and you have the Persian Empire. But none of them, they got to some of the, basically the border, some of the Arabs tribes came under their control. But generally, majority of the Arabs did not come under their control. Two wars of the time, because historians mentioned their independence. They would not dare let anybody come and rule upon them. So again, Allah, for the messenger and the message to go and spread, you have to have people who have that bravery and who have an independent mind, who would not care about anyone coming to their path and trying to prevent them and stop them. And then, of course, the language. The language. The eloquence of the Arabs. They call us Ajam. We call us Ajam. What does Ajam mean? Ajam means people who can't speak well. Basically, derogatory sense it means dumb, can't speak well. So the Arabs, they prided themselves in their language. And that's why the Quran was a challenge to them. That you pride yourself in your language, bring something like this. And none of them could. Now, the beauty of the Arab language, the Arabic, is that sometimes you have, for each thing, you have so many different words. So beautiful, right? And again, here now, this Islam is going to come. The Quran was going to come to them. And it's eloquent, all of its eloquence. And then it was going to be there for them to memorize, to take it, and to propagate. So these are some of the reasons that the Messenger ﷺ was sent to the Arabs. And I said the most important reason was the answer of the dua of Ibrahim. And we end with this, that many of you are here in front of me. Make lots of dua for your children. Make lots of dua for your progeny. And you always make dua, Allah from my progeny created Imam Bukhari. From my progeny created Imam Abu Hanifa. From my progeny created Salahuddin Ayyubi. And why do we want that? We want that because if we have a Salahuddin Ayyubi or we have a Imam Bukhari or Imam Muslim in our progeny, inshallah on the day of judgment, they'll hold our hands and say, this is my great grandfather. Allah, take it. Take it to Jannah. So that's the hopes that we should have. Ibrahim Islam, the Prophet, is making dua that Allah prayer brings someone from my body. And who's the great grandfather who has to stop? Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Without that, reality for all of us. And just a quick reminder, tonight is the night of Friday. It's the first Friday of the blessed month of Ramadan. One of the important things that we have to do is the Root Sharif. The Root Sharif abundance, inshallah. We will do some sunnahs on the day of Friday tomorrow, but just a reminder for everyone. The Root Sharif abundance tonight is the right of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That is, Allah has the Islam and Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.